From WGVU Public Media, this is Powerful Women Let's Talk. Conversations with women making an impact in West Michigan. Stay connected to Powerful Women. Please like and subscribe.
Hi there, I'm Jennifer Moss, and welcome to a special edition of Powerful Women Let's Talk. It's special because it's Women's History Month, and we have a great lineup of powerful women that we're talking to. Today, I have the distinct pleasure to talk with not one, not two, but three, count them, three powerful women who are doing some wonderful things in the Grand Rapids area and beyond. And this trio has made local history with a partnership to provide brokerage services for a 27-unit condominium project, the Seymour. And this happened about a year ago. We're going to get to the details of that in a moment, but first let me introduce our guest. All three are real estate brokers. We have Jamecia Adams, independent agent and associate broker with Keller Williams, Grand Rapids East, owner of J Collective Properties. We have Latasha Black, broker and owner with LCB and Associates Realty, and Tanya Powell-May, CEO and associate real estate broker with Legacy Homes, GR at Keller Williams North. Welcome, ladies, and thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you for having us.
So we're going to start with the news headline. 3 local African-American real estate brokers made history recently when they were awarded the multi-million-dollar contract to provide brokerage services for the Inner City Christian Federation's new Alger Heights development, the Seymour. Great headline. So this is the first time in the city a project of this size has been awarded to 3 minority female brokers. Elite Realty Collective, or ERC. You guys created that as a result of this. So tell me a bit about this collaborative.
So Latasha, Jamecia, and I have been friends for quite a while. We actually worked together on a couple of projects. We founded the local NARAB chapter, and Jamecia can tell you a little bit about NARAB, called Roma. Mm-hmm. And then we work on a nonprofit board called 1,000 Families of Color Incorporated together. So when the opportunity came about to bid on this project, I approached them about doing it collectively, and we were blessed that they both said yes.
Absolutely. And so, and this is of historic proportions from the standpoint, again, that this has not been done with 3 African-American females, to get that awarding and a project such as this. It's a huge project, right?
Huge project. Like you said, multi-million dollar endeavor with ICCF. We're grateful that they entrusted us with this huge project. We are trailblazers in the city of Grand Rapids for all of us to have our own brokerage firm and to come together to collaborate and to provide homes to individuals that may not have had home ownership. It's huge.
Yeah, just to have the opportunity, because a lot of times people think that home ownership is so far beyond their reach, and to be able to provide some homes, and they weren't homes that you can just, that you think they're subpar. People think that, they're I hate to use the word project, but, low income. There were income qualifying factors to be able to obtain one of the homes. However, these were homes that were just beautiful. They had high-end appliances, well, on the higher end because of the stove and the refrigerator, the appliances. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm just giving you any type of home. So they were really, really nice quality, something that, somebody who was making $500,000 a year would be happy to call home as well.
It had a complete package, appliance package.
Complete.
Stainless steel, washer and dryer, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths.
Mm-hmm. Central air, just beautiful homes.
Yeah.
And so is this part of the affordable housing push in Grand Rapids, helping, provide housing for those who need it? Is my understanding that the Seymour, the historic housing development, sold out in record time.
Yes. They had a year, they had planned for it to be a year. I think we did it in less than 6 months.
Yeah, we did it a year earlier than they had planned to be sold. So we kicked off applications. I wanted to say it was the first week of May,
Yes.
and we were sold out by the end of December. So we had
Of last
sold,
year.
yes,
of
of
last year.
2025. We had sold all 27 units, and that was a year earlier than ICCF had projected that they would all be sold. So 14 of the units were for lower income families that are 80% income of the area median income or below, and then 13 were for families below 120. So it was that mix of population, and it was just all hands on deck, using every strategy that we know as brokers, lots of years of experience in the room, and just tapping into the resources and connections that we have here in community.
And also educating, I found that educating some of our fellow realtors who didn't understand what the average income really meant, or they didn't really understand it. So they thought, oh, and they were surprised. Some of them were really surprised that some of their clients were able to that even qualify. They thought, oh, my client didn't qualify, wouldn't qualify for something like that, but they actually did, because some of them just didn't understand. So the education piece was very enlightening for us as a team, being able to talk to some of our fellow realtors and explain the program.
Because again, this is needed in the city of Grand Rapids. We talk and do a lot of news stories about affordable housing and how it is not overly available for those who are in need. And so a situation such as this, or a collaborative such as this with the Seymour, it addresses a huge need in the city. Would you not? Would you agree?
Absolutely. And they had great lending partners involved with the projects as well. I'll add that as a component that made it a win-win as well. They had a list of preferred lenders because there were special financing that would make this work. But you had lenders like, and I shouldn't shout out specific lenders, but like Lake Michigan Credit Union, I have to shout them out.
Yes.
Because they financed probably 75% of the units in the building, and they provided significant down payment assistance to those families. So that also, on top of it being affordable, being able to help them to not have to come to the table with a large down payment was valuable. It was really valuable.
Did you all get to talk to some of the families after they were able or approved and thus then moved in, or along those lines? And what did that look like and feel like to you all who were part and parcel of this whole thing coming to light?
So what we say is we're with you every step of the way. So we still are in contact with families. Now that they've moved in, they have questions, we're there to answer. They're dealing with HOAs now, being new homeowners. And they are just grateful because they, perhaps never thought, like Jamecia said, that they could own a home, and that now their family has stability.
And not just any home, as you mentioned, a really nice home.
Really nice home.
And a desirable area, Alger Heights. And to obtain a home in Alger Heights for under $231,000 is unheard of
in today's market.
In today's market, and that the homes are now valued just under $400,000.
Wow.
So you're walking in with equity.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And that's building generational wealth.
And that's key as well. So let's talk about another facet of this. You all operate independently of each other day in and day out. In fact, you could say that you're legitimate competitors. You're in the real estate business, right?
We are.
Side eye. Yes, I'm going to get that client. How did you all, though, come together? And you kind of answered a little bit of it, but, when you think about the bigger picture of that, to work together for the greater good, putting those individual interests aside. I know you all knew each other, but this is still business. As they say, it's not personal, it's business. This is a business deal. You all are conducting business. You each own your own business. So coming together, doing this, do you feel like it hit any of your businesses in any negative way or any other kind of way?
No, we're stronger together, you know. And I think that sometimes we have to, if we step us outside of ourselves and understand and recognize that we're stronger together, we could do a lot more things together in the community, and we realize that. And I give a shout out personally to Tanya for thinking, oh, okay, let's do this together. And my first thought was, how are we going to do that? Not from the standpoint of being competitors, just like, how would that look? Because a lot of people think that as realtors, you know, we do, it is a nice income, it's a nice lifestyle, right? But how do you do that as different with different brokerages? Everybody has different pay scales or different methods on how you get. So it wasn't even so much how to do it, but the logistics behind it was a big task too. So I think that doing that together was great because, you know, again, I want to say we're stronger together.
So I think, Tanya, but all of us, we have the abundance mindset.
Yes.
So that's different.
Explain that.
There's enough for all of us.
That part.
There's enough for all of us. So we represented ICCF as the seller, but we all have our own buyers. So with that sense, we could bring our buyers to the table, and then we are winning on both sides because we're representing the seller, but we also brought a home buyer. So then you're getting paid on both sides. So that's the abundance mindset. But like Jamecia said, competitors think of there's only one seat at the table. Collaborators think, let's build a bigger table. And that's what we did.
I like that. I like that. So is this, in your opinion, kicking off something greater, bringing the three of you together to work together collectively? So this was project 1. Do we see project 2 or 3 down the road?
So we are still, ERC is still live. We are representing Dwelling Place.
Yes.
With their project. It's 2080 Union, and they have homes that we're representing the seller, but we are taking buyers. These are single family homes that are
New construction.
New construction. Yes.
2 and 3 bedrooms.
Yep. Go ahead, Jamecia.
No, I was just going to say.
No,
just
describe
they're
it.
they're 2 and 3 bedrooms. They're beautiful homes. We have a couple ranches, 2 stories. So and then with ADA accessible units. So yeah, they're beautiful. Yeah.
Does this create a sense of excitement and joy in you all when you see, okay, so you've done project 1, success, sold out quickly, ahead of schedule. Now you have project 2. What does that kind of spark? Because you're for quality housing for all individuals in our community, and you see this coming to light, even on a bigger scale. And when I say bigger, not your own personal, but the collaboration piece of it. How does that make you all feel when you see this vision coming to light?
Yeah. For me, it's a bit overwhelming because I think about all of the trailblazers who have done this work for so many years. Like I always keep someone like a Doretha Ardorn, who's been doing this business for years and blazed trails for us.
Yes.
Like we get to do this because she's done it with excellence for so many years. And we are just a microcosm of what it's going to be, right? So I see more women getting into not only real estate, but real estate development, project management, becoming builders, opening real estate schools. There are so many opportunities for women in this space. And I hope that by seeing us do this project together, that more women decide that they can do things together. And do projects.
I wrote that down, that we're models for the next generation.
Right.
I like that.
That's a beautiful thing. So as we look at this too, you talk about trailblazing and doing different things in the community. You all are also all part of a local nonprofit as well, 1,000 Families of Color Incorporated. Tell us about that and how that helps our community, because again, this is not the Seymour was not your first collaboration. You all were already part of 1,000 Families of Color. Tell me about that.
So 1,000 Families of Color, our pillars are financial literacy, home ownership, and then getting more people that look like us, Black and brown people, in the real estate industry. Keller Williams has a program that Tanya and Jamecia can speak more of, but if individuals are interested, they have a real estate school that where you can go for 40 hours, I believe, get prepared to take the exam, and then once you take the exam, then you can choose a brokerage of your choice to go to. You don't necessarily have to go to Keller Williams, but it's ideal that they will.
They can go anywhere.
They can go
anywhere
that they would like you to.
Yeah,
but we try to push that in 1,000 Families of Color to get more individuals in this industry. So our focus did not start with ICCF. So like you alluded to, we started this organization to provide financial literacy, to get individuals credit ready to become a homeowner. Because if you have a home and you have children, stability matters. If they are in a stable home, they're more likely to do well in school. And to be more of a productive citizen. And so that's our push.
Yeah, and to teach people generational wealth, because sometimes what do you do at grandma's house? You've been hearing that a lot, because so that's what we want to do. We want to educate the people. We want to, just because you got a home, we want to be able to show you how to keep that home, and that's building credit. That's why we do the workshops and the education piece, because lack of knowledge sometimes is the failure of a lot of people. So that's one of the things that we enjoy doing, giving back to the community by teaching them.
So it kind of goes hand in hand, what you ended up doing with the Seymour, because you were already taking building steps to get to that point. There were people that had some knowledge. I don't know if some of those people that were in 1,000 Families of Color ended up in any of the Seymour homes, but regardless, you're still building that framework, that groundwork, kind of, and so that you had that stepping stone, right?
Absolutely. And we introduced them all to the Seymour Project.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
We were excited about that opportunity. And then the other piece is just teaching people how to build wealth, because one of the questions you asked before we came on the show was, why is homeownership so important? The statistics point to the primary way that we build our wealth in this country is through our homeownership. A homeowner has generally 40 times more net worth than a renter. 40 times. You know, when a average black family has a net worth of $11,000, homeownership is very important to being able to leave something for the next generation, to be able to finance an education, starting a business, paying off debt, using home equity, whatever you want to do from a financial standpoint. Home ownership is usually that tool that a lot of successful people use. So we want to just do everything that we can to help people to be able to do that, if that's a dream and an aspiration.
And unfortunately, in the Black and brown community, instead of home ownership being a growth, we have had a decline. Over the last 40 to 50 years. Instead of it going up, I think we're down to maybe 47%, where we at one point was at 62%, but we've gone down compared to our counterparts, where they are, it's still at 74% of home ownership. So it's important to educate our community, to assist them, to help them build their credit, show them that it is a value into home ownership opposed to renting. Because sometimes I tell clients, do you want to pay? They say, oh, the interest rates are so high. So you're okay with paying 100% interest rate? She said, well, what do you mean? Well, if you're paying somebody else's mortgage, you're paying 100% instead of paying the 5 and 6% where the interest rates are. So yes, it's about education.
And what we teach individuals is you date the rate, but you marry the home, because rates change. They change all the time, and you can refinance, and that's where education comes in. And so teaching individuals about interest rates, credit ready, down payment assistance, because individuals think I cannot own a home, and the lack of education. And so we tell them that there are products out there, and there's products out there for everyone.
Yeah. Just for instance, I had a client that closed in one of the dwelling places. They end up getting like almost $40,000 with down payment assistance. into their home.
Oh, wow.
First time home buyer. So, people think, oh, I don't have the money. There's so many programs, so many assistants. It's just sometimes you're afraid. We're trying to make it comfortable. Hey, let's talk about it. Let's have that conversation.
And fear can be such a stopping point for so many people, not even wanting to take the first step.
Exactly.
But then when you're with your education factors, that toolkit there that you have, it gives them an advantage.
When you know better, you do better, right?
Communication is key. I had a client just, I hope she's a client. I hope she's listening. But potential client, she called and had questions, and she was sitting in her car, and I called her just to follow up, and she was like, "Oh, I'm so happy you called back," and she was pondering, and I was like, communication is key. Don't sit there. Shout out to Mike Hawkins. He said, don't just sit there and stew. You have asked the questions.
Because no question is a dumb question.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So she was like, thank you for calling. And so I was like, whatever is on your mind, comes to mind, give me a call. If I don't know the answer, I will find it out. Because I am not a lender, but that's what our partners are for. And so,
It's relationship building.
Yes.
And it's funny you say that, because a lot of times I tell people who are thinking about getting in the industry, they go, well, I don't want to do sales. I don't look at myself as a salesperson. I look at myself as a relationship builder, because I'm not looking at my clients as, oh, there's just another sale. I'm building relationships.
Absolutely. So your common ground, we're talking about the 1,000 families of color there and the extension of that, but your common ground also doesn't end with that collaborative. You're also, all three of you, founding members of the local chapter of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, right?
Yes.
And as we look at Women's History Month, being members of the association, female as well as African American females, how does this help, and how important is it to gain greater access to quality housing? We kind of touched on the quality housing part, but being a part of this group and being founding members of that, how has this helped your business and just the community at large?
So, Roma is our chapter here in Grand Rapids. It's Realtist of West Michigan Associations, chapter of NARAB. NARAB was founded in 1947, I want to believe.
Yes,
okay.
1947.
And it was founded due to, at that time, African Americans could not be called realtors.
Or be a part of
the part of the National Association
Exclusion.
of Realtors.
You could not be in that group at all.
And so they found this organization, and that's why they're called Realtists, or we're called Realtists. But it's because at that time they understood that home ownership built wealth, these individuals. And so we found a chapter here in Grand Rapids, and it's not just for African Americans. It's for any individual that wants to help the underserved communities.
Absolutely.
So we have lenders that's a part of this organization. We have inspectors, home inspectors,
Title people,
title organizations. I'll let Jamecia speak because she's our current president.
Oh, well, wonderful.
Yeah. So anybody who has a passion or connection to real estate, or who want to help people to advocate for home ownership. I mean, even it's even beyond home ownership. It's about appraisal bias. We're educating and advocating for anything like that, because I personally had a client who's actually facing that right now with the appraisal bias. We're teaching our realtors how to advocate, how to navigate around that. So we are here to advocate for home ownership, generational wealth building. So that's what I always try to take Roma and NARAB and put them together. So you take them to, Roma is the local chapter, but NARAB is a National Association of Real Estate Brokers. And that's what they're all about. They're trying to this advocacy about looking for Black and brown people so we can have somebody to advocate for us, whether it be getting into the business, getting into home ownership, helping you build generational wealth. I mean, you name anything that has to do with real estate and building generational wealth. That's the organization I look for. So,
and their motto is democracy in housing. If you go to the NARAB website, one of the things that I really enjoy is they do a state of Housing in Black America report every year, so that you learn a lot of the things that we face as African American families, whether it's lending disparities in terms of lack of approvals, things that are barriers in that process. So we're identifying systematic things that need to be changed so that the process works for everybody. Right? Like you mentioned, appraisals. We need more appraisals. Appraisers. We need more African American appraisers. They have processes to help that so that more of us can become appraisers.
And developers.
Yes. So they're doing great work, and the network across the community is phenomenal. Just to be able to reach out to another realtist in another area, if you have somebody relocating, just those relationships are phenomenal.
Okay, so March is Women's History Month. I've got 3 trailblazers here at the table. Final thoughts. I'm going to go around the table. Being on the front lines in the real estate market, being a realtor, a broker. Latasha, thoughts on what you would like to see in the future and making progress to continue those trailblazing moments?
I would say more collaboration, rewriting history, showing that success is not a scarce or scarcity, showing maturity, security in your confidence, as well as vision, just having that abundance mindset. So creating a huge vision that we all can do it. Again, building a bigger table.
Tanya?
That's awesome. Women's History Month reminds us that we stand on the shoulders of women who weren't always allowed in the room. Today, we're not just in a room. We're shaping those the blueprint. ERC, our partnership, is proof that collaboration is currency, and it changes outcomes. And we're especially honored to have had this opportunity, and we look forward to what's to come in the future.
Well, they summed it up pretty well. But yeah, what I like to see happen is more collaboration, knowing that it's okay. I think that the 3 of us, you can see us on the street, ask us a question and say, hey, I want to get into that business. And we're not going to say, oh, it's, we don't have that. Oh, I can't tell you what to do because I'm afraid that you're going to take something from me. There is enough on the table for everybody to have a piece of it. As I also am a mentor in my office, and I tell the ladies, I've been mentoring mostly ladies. I tell them all the time, hey, it's okay. Ask me anything. I'm gonna tell you how I did this, how they did whatever you need to do so people can know that we're all one team. Make a bigger table, like Tasha said, and this is it's an industry that you can all be a part of, and not to be afraid, to stop walking in fear, and to know that if you want something, put your mind to it, have that vision, you can do it. You can make it happen.
I will say, Jamecia, like you said, this industry, just know that coming in this industry, you are making a difference in people's lives.
You are.
Wonderful.
And that's what matters.
Yeah, because we realize that purchasing a home is probably the biggest transaction one person's going to make in their life. Whether you make $1 million or $100,000, it's probably the biggest purchase you're going to make. And we kind of the honor and the privilege that people will allow us to do so. So we don't take it lightly. We are definitely grateful for being part of the ICCF project, the Seymour. I'm also grateful for being a part of ERC. It's just been a blessing.
Wonderful. Well, so much the trailblazing effect. I'm full here listening to this conversation. This is wonderful. Yeah. Congratulations to all of you. Keep doing the good work, and we appreciate you. I want to thank each of you for taking time to share your story with us for this special edition of Powerful Women Let's Talk. And thanks to all our listeners, of course, for tuning in. I'm Jennifer Moss, and this is Powerful Women Let's Talk.
Powerful Women Let's Talk is a production of WGVU Public Media. Episodes available at WGVUnews.org and on Apple and Spotify. Please like and subscribe.